In this video, I'll be talking about this Nano frame back here. This frame that you may have noticed in the background of all the videos that I've been doing. Now, it's so hard to describe the quality of this particular thing. When you're looking on the video here, you think, okay, looks like a nice digital picture frame. But when you see it in real life displaying the NFTs, I saw them first at CNFTCon and then at Rare Bloom as well. It's a stunning display. And with some of these high quality NFTs, these high resolution NFTs that are displayed on there, the picture of them is absolutely stunning. It also does video and audio too, which is just really, really cool. Now, I had a chat with Sebastian over at Rare Bloom when we're coming back from leaving Denver, going back home, and he told me the whole story and conception and some of the issues and trials that they went through to get these things produced and exported across the world. So it's hardware is hard, especially when you have to deal with customs, regulations, and all these different things in regards to building this. The software side of it seemed pretty easy and straightforward, but the hardware side, wow, it was a little bit difficult. But we go through all of this in this interview, so let's get to it.
Yeah, gotta do it like that. You've been listening to the Learn Cardano podcast. Gotta get it hype. Crypto is what we like, but this is not investment or financial advice. Gotta do your research, cause it's risky. We know it is. This show is educational and it's informative. Crypto's the future, really, it ain't no debate.
I have Bastian from Nano Frames joining me on this interview to talk about a really cool product that they came up with. It's right here in the background here. I was lucky enough to pick one up at Rare Bloom and lug it all the way home from the US back to Australia here. But now it's in the background there, and it's going to appear in all of my YouTube videos now, displaying all these really cool NFT collections. And I have Bastian here to talk about the creation of this and the inception story. So Bastian, welcome to the podcast.
Thank you for having me. Thanks. And I'm glad the frame made it home with you all one time around the world. What a journey.
I was so worried. I had to pay extra for United Air. I had to pay extra for Virgin Australia when I came through as well as a fragile luggage. And then, of course, the day when I arrived back in on the Gold Coast, it didn't arrive with me. So I was panicking. I know this beautiful frame that I was hoping to plug in straight away and get working just did not arrive when I did. So I just had to wait that extra day. Thankfully, it did arrive, and then when I unpacked it, it was all US adapters. So I had to go out and buy another adapter. It's just those little things, but I've got it working now. It's an absolutely stunning frame. There's a bit of a setup process that we still have to go through, but I love the mechanics around this. Yeah. So we were actually sitting in, where was it? Was it Denver Airport?
Yeah.
Denver International. And you were telling me the story about how you decided to create this, and I want to share it with everyone else. So Bastian, could you tell us this inception story of this particular frame?
Sure. Yeah, happy to. So it was pretty much a year ago when I joined the NFT space in September last year, and I obviously got instantly hooked by all the mechanics, the minting, right? The excitement about staying up all night to grind and all of that. Back then, I still grinded for whitelist and all of that. So I was in the middle of it, right? I got super excited. I cashed in a lot of my crypto holdings because I was like, not necessarily, to be honest, not necessarily because I was like, oh, these are the best investments. I was literally hooked on this, on the community, right? On this entire aspect of people rallying around art and projects. And I've always been an art fan. So I got hooked instantly, right? And after a while, so I bought, let's say, 100 NFTs or so. Obviously, I minted everything, right? Like the beginning of my wallet does not look so it's not or smart investment decisions. But anyway, I was sitting there with a lot of NFTs, right? And I was asking myself, and I was also asking other people, so what do you do with it now? Back then, okay, you were already able to sell and to trade them, right? But until this day, I'm not a good seller, I buy and then I hold because I just like it, or I think it's going to increase the value, right? But I was basically okay. Apart from letting it go, what do I do with it? And people said, well, you open your wallet and you look at them. And it's like, well, and I do this multiple times a day. Yeah, pretty much. And that was the state of the space, right?
Yeah,
You
yeah.
just opened your wallet on Pool PM. Yeah, that was the only way. Yoroi back then didn't even have a wallet view. So I was like, okay, that can't be it, right? I understand for PFPs, it might not always be something you want to have on your wall, for example. But if you have fine art or pieces that you connect memories with, I thought you want to have it on your wall. And so one of my first NFTs I actually printed out on 10 pages, and then I glued it together because I wanted to have it in a large
Printed
size.
out on 10 pages, right?
Yeah, it looked like a mess. But I said, okay, for me, before I joined the NFT space, and probably for everyone else, art was in a frame on the wall, right? If you're talking about paintings, not sculptures. So I was researching, is there any type of frames, or how do you get your NFTs on the wall? Right? And everyone was suggesting, yeah, print them out. But there had to be something more. So I found fairly quickly, I found a supplier that are doing NFT frames for, back then there was only Ethereum. Until now, we're the only ones on Cardano. So we had the hardware, and I was like, all right, let's make this happen. Let's make this happen for the Cardano community, because the art deserves to be on the wall. Right? It doesn't deserve to sit in a functional wallet, to be maybe looked at on a phone. You want to, for yourself, but also to others, you want to be able to show it off, to admire it, right? So
Definitely.
yeah, that's how this all started, basically out of a huge gap in the market. And then we pretty quickly did a pre-sale, so to say, to test the market, to see if people actually want to have that product. And over the last couple of months, after overcoming quite a few logistical problems because of COVID, right? They locked down ports, and then the product got sent back because we had everything in the book happening, but we prevailed. And then, yeah, the first time you were able to see them out in the wild was now in CNFTCon in Vegas, and our gallery in Rare Bloom, where you got your beautiful frame. And that's where we are right now. We're delivering the orders from the pre-sale at the moment, and we will open sales again in probably shortly after the Cardano Summit, where we will also be displaying some of them.
Yeah, you were telling me some of the logistical nightmares that you had when getting these frames around the world. Of course, we had COVID lockdown, so we had shipping issues there as well. But then you had other shipping issues when it came into the EU and whatnot. When a couple of things were missing on the imports side of things. So it's a big learning lessons for you guys when it comes to doing a hardware product. Not many people do the hardware side of things. Like in our space, on the crypto side of things, plenty of NFT drops, new innovations on DeFi, building software side of things. But then doing the hardware thing, I commend you for even going down that path. It's a hard way, many hard lessons learned.
Yeah, it's been a rough path, and we're very grateful for our community that's shown incredible patience and understanding. And I don't think it would have worked this way in another community, to be honest. There has been incredible patience and understanding, but for us, it's our mission is to bring this new renaissance of art to life, right? To give this new era of artists a place to shine. And we do believe that it's one of the most important things to well, increase mainstream adoption, right? Because you need to give the people from the traditional art world, or just normal people that have no knowledge about blockchain, that only heard about NFTs in some article, that it's a scam and a hype and people are losing money or spending way too much money, to give them this connection between the traditional art world, what they know, the pieces that they have on their wall already, to this new type of art. And that can, well, it can happen in many ways, and that's our contribution to that mission.
Yeah, I agree. And the idea of being able to share your NFT art. So some of this stuff is absolutely stunning. Right? Some of the collections that I've minted, some of the things that I've collected over the last year is stunning. And, it's I'm not much of a trader as well, but when I find something I really like or an artist I want to support, I go down that path. And it's not just the NFT side of things. So if you look further down here, this is a local Sydney artist that did this robot thing. I've got another piece down here around the corner here from a local artist on the Gold Coast, Aboriginal artist as well. So, I collect regular traditional print art from, artists around the world. And I love displaying around the place. And there's pieces all over my house. So, that vision of sharing the art is definitely down my path as well. But these frames are completely unique to the Cardano ecosystem. And you explaining to me a couple of things around it on the mechanics of how it works. And I absolutely love this. And you're saying it's safe and secure, more secure than how the Ethereum space are doing their frames. Can you explain the tech and the aspects of being able to get the NFTs onto the frames itself?
Yeah, definitely. The solution was born out of necessity in the beginning, which pushed us to come up with a very revolutionary way of doing things, right? And to understand that, you need to look at how the frames on other chains are done and how the most logical way would be, right? So you need to get your NFTs somehow into the frame, right? Because that would usually work with you sign a transaction. Same as you connect your wallet to a marketplace or to a dApp, right? You connect your wallet, you sign a payload, and then the frame would be connected to the wallet, which has a couple of, well, potential issues, right? Your wallet, and that's not so relevant on the Cardano space, but on the Ethereum space, since NFTs there are not native assets, if you connect your wallet to something and there is some faulty code somewhere or malicious code, then your wallet could be drained. Obviously, not as, I don't want to paint this doomsday scenario, but there is a potential security risk if you connect your wallet, right? The other thing is, you need to be constantly updated about the APIs and the connectors of the wallets that you work with, right? If Nami wallet, for example, or Eternal or Flint, Typhon, if they update their API, right, you need to instantly do that as well. Otherwise, your connection would fail. And if a new wallet comes out, you need to integrate that wallet too, right? So there's a lot of potential pitfalls if you go down that route. So what we did is, and it was born out of the necessity, because last year we didn't have these smart contract wallets. You couldn't sign with your wallet yet. So we didn't even have that option that other companies are doing in the Ethereum space, for example. So we had to come up with a solution that works without all of this. So what we did is, every frame has a corresponding nano NFT, and they're hard-coded together, right? They're like brothers. The frame observes the blockchain for this NFT, and whatever wallet that NFT is in, that's the wallet that is being displayed on the frame, even without being connected to it, right? Since the blockchain gives us all the data, what's in that wallet, which NFTs are in there, we can then display the contents of the wallets. So that gives you you have no security risk whatsoever, ever, because you don't have any wallet connection to the hardware or to our software. It's highly scalable in the sense that if Lace, for example, now comes out, the second they launch, the Nano Frames can work with Lace Wallet. We don't have to do any API integration, nothing. Any Cardano capable wallet works. You can put the Nano NFT in your Daedalus wallet, right? And it would still work. So if you're still using that. It has a lot of advantage in terms of security, scalability, and just general, functionality in terms of which wallets we can work with.
And that is such a beautiful approach. Like just scanning the blockchain for the corresponding NFT, a nano NFT, where this frame will start pulling in and the collections, my collection of NFTs from, is such a brilliant way of doing it. I think that's very, very smart. Now, I guess, like you were saying, because we didn't have smart contracts, we can't sign any transactions to do it any other way. So, but this way is by far the easiest and best way, I think, of approaching this kind of solution.
And it also, for us, or at least in our opinion, it goes along the what NFTs are made for, right? If you look outside of the art market, NFTs will be used basically to represent anything that has a serial number, right? In supply chain, for example, or in product management. That's what NFTs on the big scale are going to be used for. And that's exactly what we're doing, right? The hardware product has an NFT that represents it. What we're just doing additionally is we use that as a connector, which opens up a lot of possibilities in the personal or for personal users. Imagine you have a friend come over, right? And he or she says, "Oh, I bought these 5 new NFTs. Can we put them on your frame?" Right? The only thing you have to do is send over the Nano NFT to the other wallet, and then the frame uses that wallet as a database. You are still in control, right? You have the smartphone app that where you control your playlists, etc. You're just changing databases. Right? Suddenly, you're accessing a different set of NFTs. And in a commercial setting, imagine you're a gallery, right? And you want to do an exhibition of, let's say, Space Buds, right? Because of the first Cardano 10K collection. You're going to have a very hard time as a curator convincing holders of Space Buds to send them all over to you, right? To say, yeah, sure, I trust you to send it back. You could work, I guess, with smart contracts that like send them back after a while and all of this. That would be a possibility. But it's a lot easier with the Nano NFT, right? Because let's say you want to, the one holder has 20 Space Buds and you want to put them on one frame. You just send that Nano NFT to the other wallet. So and use that as a database. You as a curator, you can still control which of the Space Buds will be shown for what time. So no one else is in control of the frame and you're not going to see something weird all of a sudden. But you can access the holdings of the other person without them sending you anything. They're always the holders, right? And that's the beauty of it. You could be in Brazil, the gallery is in Singapore, and the holder is in Cape Town, and it would still work.
That's brilliant. I absolutely love it. The only thing that I can see might be a problem is that Nano NFT, when I send it to this other person, do they have to send it back to me so that I can then, put it into another frame, or can I mint another version of that NFT so I can sync up the frame again? What's the process with that?
Yeah, currently the holder basically would have to send it back. We do have the option though to say, okay, we cut the connection and issue a new NFT, which is not a normal procedure, but it would be like a customer service issue that we can take care of. But yeah, that's the easiest way. In the future, we'll work with smart contracts so you can temporarily send it over and then it automatically gets sent back. That's also a possibility. One reason why we do this is also, let's say you want to see the wallet of someone else, right? On your frame, you could literally
Yeah.
send the Nano NFT to my wallet, right? You could do that potentially, but you're not going to do that more than once, because if I find the Nano NFT and I'm going to see it in my recent transaction, right? I'm just going to send it into Nirvana, and then you have no control over your frame anymore. You cannot use the product. So of course you can come back to us and say, hey, I accidentally sent it to the wrong wallet, right? Which can happen, right? You enter wrong handle or whatever. But if that happens more than once or twice, then we're gonna have a look into what's really happening. So
Yeah, I could see, that Nano NFT being sold on a secondary marketplace or something, being held ransom for it or something like
yeah,
that. Hopefully not. But there's other scenarios where, like, I might lose access to my wallet, and
exactly.
access to that particular NFT, and then not be able to use my frame again. Although I would still have the NFTs from that particular wallet, reminding me that I've forgotten and lost my seed phrase from my wallet. So
Yeah.
there's pros and cons there. Pros and cons.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So I love those mechanisms and those little bits of customer service to get those frames, to get the access back to the frame is good to know that there is that possibility too.
Oh yeah.
Now, in this particular frame here, there's also like, I don't know if people can see, but there's that little blur there, which is really hard to see, is actually a QR code. And you're explaining to me this feature here of that QR code. And I absolutely love this one, especially for if you're a gallery curator and you have this on display and you're displaying a certain artist. You can go through what that QR code is and what you guys have created around it.
Yeah, so that's we call it working title buy off the frame feature. So an artist has the possibility, and we were displaying this feature in Denver in Rare Bloom. An artist has the possibility to say, I don't just want to display my art on this frame in this gallery. I want to be able to sell it, because the artist might not be able to physically be there. We had the situation in Denver where an artist from Brazil was not able to get there, but still wanted to display the art. And then you have interested parties that say, I love this piece. How can I buy it? Right. So until now, the option would be, well, here's the contact details of the artist. Please get in touch. And then they arrange the transaction. With the buy off the frame feature, you can buy it right on the spot. Right? Currently, it's working with Flint Wallet because they have the deep linking functionality that we require for it. But in very simple terms, is you can walk up to this QR code, scan it with your mobile phone, with your mobile wallet, sign the transaction, and you buy the piece off the frame. So it's as close as you can get to walking into a store and buying a piece of art and walking out of it with it. Right?
That's pretty cool. So scanning that QR code will also sign or create a transaction with the price of it as well. Is that right?
Yeah, correct. So the artist can decide. We basically have a marketplace, an artist marketplace, where the artist can say, okay, I want to list this piece for 1,500 ADA, right? And then if a buyer scans the QR code, it opens the wallet. It already created the transaction. If you sign it, you're sending 1,500 ADA, and you get the piece back.
That's beautiful. Seamless, easy process. And I didn't realize that Flint Wallet allowed for that either, at the deep linking of a transaction.
Yeah, I mean, it's not the QR code scanning functionality is not something they have integrated natively. We built that ourselves, but only Flint Wallet so far is able to handle these externally built mobile transactions. You can do it in Eternal Wallet as well, but we would have to register or to have an integration in their DApp browser, which was just a time thing. We weren't able to do that before Rare Bloom, but it would work similarly with Eternal Wallet. And then obviously every mobile wallet going further will also be possible. So if you look 1 year down the line, and people, well, I hope that we have a very good wallet distribution by then it would, any mobile wallet could potentially work, and that's the goal.
Okay. All right, beautiful. Something to look forward to as these wallets evolve and build out a little bit further. Now, if anyone is interested in getting one of these frames, how do they go about getting one? Because I know they're pretty hard to get at the moment.
Yeah, which is well, is not the goal, right?
You want everyone to have one, right?
Well, yeah. I mean, there's so much potential with it, right? Right now, it's displaying art, but it's literally, we call it the window, the Web3 window, because we can integrate a lot of dApps, a lot of integrations into the frame software, right? Giving you notifications about something that you're interested in, right? Hey, something new got listed, and it just shows the little well, animation and a Bing. They do have built-in speakers, right? So you can also do audio notifications. We can show coin prices, charts, anything, right? So there will be a lot of opportunities about not just NFTs, but also DeFi to be integrated into these displays. So we want to build a hardware that's specific for Web3, because you're not going to run a minting feed on your TV, right? It's just, you want a dedicated place for these types of things. So that's what we're building, and we, as I said, what we want to, or what we're working on, is obviously a continuous supply of these, which has a lot of pitfalls and obstacles, but we're working on it right now. We're working in sales windows to do bulk orders, so we can do all the work in one go. We will have one pretty closely after the Cardano summit, which is on the 19th to the 21st of November. So pretty closely after that, we're going to have the next sales window. And what's going to be interesting, and this is super alpha, right? No one knows about this yet but you. We're going to switch to a different distribution and payment model as well. So we will introduce some sort of subscription model for people to get easier access to the hardware, because not everyone that loves NFTs has $500 or $1,000 or $2,000 to buy a physical display, right? But we want to work out models so even more people can have access to them. So we're trying to lower the prices as much as we can, and there will be different options then to get your hands on one.
All right, brilliant. So we've got to look out for those sales windows that you have, and I do like those options to make it easier to buy these particular frames. I know, having seen them at Rare Bloom, the different various sizes and dimensions that you have, they can get quite expensive. There was I swear there was a frame that was bigger than me. So
Yeah.
I'm not that tall, but the frame was pretty big. And then the one that I actually did have my eye on was the circular one, but I think that one got shipped off to Charles. So
Yeah. Joshua chose that one for him. He said that one's special. That one's for Charles. So it's in the IOG office right now, displaying NFTs, which we are very, very proud of. I mean, that's the one thing you want to achieve, right? In the end, especially with a hardware product, you want to be in the chief's office. So we already checked that off the list. We do have various sizes. They range from, we have a 10-inch, which is kind of a tabletop size, like you have your family pictures on your workstation, right? So that kind of size. Going over the 21.5, that's the one that you have in the background, all the way up to 55 inch, which is a big TV size, right? And then we want to have perfect product market fit, right? So we also have square frames for all of our PFP lovers out there. Currently in two sizes, the 22 inch, which is about this size, and the 33, which is a lot bigger. We will introduce new sizes in the next sales window, so no one knows that yet. But we're gonna be able to offer smaller square sizes as well, because these and the circular one that we have, they are quite expensive, and the reason for that is no other industry is using square or circular displays, right? Every laptop, every TV is rectangular, every display board is usually rectangular. So the only place where you could find another square display is in like playing machines or in slot machines, something like that. But other than that, no one uses square displays, and I've personally never seen a round display. So these are all custom made for the NFT frames. That's why there's a bit of a price point to it. Nevertheless, I have to say we're compared to all the other frame companies out there, we're a lot cheaper. Right? I mean, the most expensive one, the round one, is like $2,500, which is a very good price for the quality of the product and the uniqueness. And obviously, it comes with all the software solutions and the Cardano wallet connector, etc. So we're trying to price as fairly as possible. Yeah, we're building a long-term business, right? I don't want to make super bank over the next half year on everyone and then just drop off. We're trying to build a long-term business, really get these in the hands of as many people as possible, because it opens up so many opportunities for people to create value on these. So we're trying our best in terms of new sizes, new prices, software updates. We're working on a pretty big update right now. So it's going to be very exciting over the next couple of months and years.
I'm looking forward to it. And I have to say that it's hard to see on screen, or when you're looking at your website or photos or videos of the product. Like when I actually saw them at CNFTCon in real life, just walking past your exhibit, the display, it really was a head turner. Like you'd be looking at some other exhibits and then you see these frames in the background and you go, wow, it really pops. The quality of the screens, the brightness, the resolution really made some of these PFPs look really, really cool. And I think I saw one of the block owls, the glitchy block owls animate, and I heard the audio and stuff all around it as well. And it's just like, that's really cool. If you're a really avid NFT collector and you have some really cool pieces, these frames are definitely the ones to look at. Now, where can people find out more information about the product, spec sizes, and possibly go through pre-orders once you have the next sales window up?
Yeah, so you can go to our website, nano-frames.com. You can also find us on Twitter. We do have a Discord server with all of the information in there as well. Pretty active community. Just follow any of these channels. We'll be very vocal about the next sales window. There's going to be a lot of information about that. We'll also be sharing more of a couple of the videos from CNFTCon where you can see the quality a little better. Because as you say, it's a whole different story. Seeing a picture of it or a montage, or seeing them in real life, right? The bigger sizes have 4K resolution, and we had artists like Jason Matias displaying 4K photography on it, and it just, like, you can stand this close to it and it still looks amazing. So that was a very important step for us as well, to really prove the quality of the product out in the wild, right? And it didn't disappoint, so we're very happy about that.
It certainly didn't disappoint at all, and I'm glad that your sales are going well for all this, and it's gaining traction now as well. So, Bastian, thank you so much for joining me on this episode and talking about the frames. It's been an absolute pleasure learning more and actually now owning one of these frames too. So I'm part of the crew. I'm part of the PFP collectors that will be displaying their artwork around their home.
Very cool. I'm glad we got one in your hands, and I'm very excited to hear your feedback. To obviously answer any questions. There will be a lot more things coming out in the future, especially also, as many may know, we're working also on Pixel Page, our other project, and it's not a hard bridge to build that these will integrate at some point together, and that just opens up so many new possibilities, especially for the user. So that's going to be very exciting.
Absolutely amazing. All right. Thank you very much.
Cool. Well, thanks so much for your time.
All the links and references for you guys down in the video description, like always. If you did manage to get one of these, or if you saw it at Rare Bloom or CNFT Con, or even at the Cardano Summit, I saw a couple of videos of it with the Nano Frames in the background. I think they had a few spare left over that they could display at the Cardano Summit. They're pretty cool. They're pretty awesome. Leave a comment down below if you did see one. If you managed to grab one as well from one of their events or one of their pre-sale orders, let me know what you guys think of this particular frame in comparison to some of the other frames on the market as well. I'd love to hear your thoughts and opinions there. If you got something out of this interview, if you enjoyed it, please consider giving me a thumbs up, hit that subscribe button, click the notification bell, and you hear more from me real soon.
Yeah, gotta do it like that. You've been listening to the Learn Cardano podcast. Gotta get it hype. Crypto is what we like, but this is not investment or financial advice. Gotta do your research, cause it's risky. We know it is. This show is educational and it's informative. Crypto's the future, really, it ain't no debate.